Welcome to the Comeback Blueprint podcast, hosted by Michael Sawan. This is the show about rebuilding after setbacks, burnouts, and life-changing moments. Real stories, real struggles, real comebacks. If you're in a season of change, you're in the right place. Welcome to another episode of the Comeback Blueprint podcast. Today's conversation is a heavy one. Nicole Huber joins me to talk about pregnancy loss, grief, depression, marriage, and what it actually looks like when you're trying to rebuild your life after the kind of pain most people struggle to even talk about. This episode goes into miscarriage, stillbirth, termination for medical reasons. I don't say any of these lightly whatsoever, but more than anything, this is a conversation about survival. So it gives me great honor to welcome Nicole to the Comeback Blueprint podcast.
Thanks, Michael.
Nicole, your story is something that, it touches on something that so many people experience privately. A lot of people will keep these conversations to themselves. Very few people feel safe enough to talk about it publicly. So before we get into everything, how would you describe your comeback story in your own words?
I guess I testament to the support around me, I think. Like my husband, my sisters, even like Wesley, my son, they all help me to like really focus on the good things, or even just like posed as distractions, especially in the very early times.
Yeah.
But
There's no manual for this, is there? There's no manual. Right.
No. But like in saying that, like the grief is part of life. And there's lots of different ways people have grief, different way they go through it. And there's no perfect way to do grief, but like there's lots of different things that you can do to just like I don't know, I stayed into the thing of like distraction until there was enough time passed that the distraction had also like posed as a good thing. Like everything adds up, like the tallies of good versus bad are slowly racking up. Yeah. It's measuring the scales, and that does come with time, and that does come with persistence. And you mentioned grief, and I've got a guest who's come on, I think twice. Yeah, she's come on twice now, and she's a grief specialist. But the most consistent thing she said about grief is that it is love. If you didn't love, you wouldn't understand or experience grief. And I think that, again, goes to, what you said in terms of, it's just part of that evolution as a human being. And understanding that, we don't have to avoid grief. We embrace it and we ride through it. And everyone does it differently. As I said at the beginning, there's no manual for this. Now, this episode unpacks a few stories. And I mentioned at the start, we've got the miscarriage, the stillbirth, twin loss. I know you've got some notes on your own, so I'm happy for you to take the lead on which one you want to unpack first, and we can go from there. I literally wrote at the top of my sheet, breathe and compartmentalize. Like, this is a box.
Most adults can't, so if you can, good for you.
It's honestly my superpower.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's
like... take an offline lesson at some point?
It's definitely a skill. And, I don't know. I definitely into the breathing, the tea.
The tea?
Yes.
What flavor? You got a particular flavor?
When I'm feeling like worried or need a moment or things like that, I always just tend to go for like whatever herbal tea is available, nothing with caffeine. So it's very much just like a soft little moment versus like if I was coffee or whatever, you're like, oh no, that's probably going to send me a bit far.
No, fair enough. I'm very detrimental in that space. I think tea and I just go straight for the Lipton black tea and pop a bunch of sugar in it. I think that's going to solve my problems, and then I'm even more
Yum,
stressed.
though. That's great.
Throw a few Arnott's biscuits in there and it sorts itself out.
Yeah, honestly, I made this tea and then I started eating Nutella on some corn cake. So I was like,
Oh, I think we had the same childhood.
yeah.
Everything's Nutella for me. Everything's
Yeah.
Nutella. Nutella with ice cream or anything. It all goes well.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, I'll take the lead on. I'll take the lead on it then. So, take us back to the beginning of your journey in motherhood. You know, life stops feeling predictable when you come across pregnancy loss. Can you take us through that episode?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it was like late 2018. Jim and I'd finished doing some bodybuilding, and we were both like, "Yep, we're both healthy and fit and bodybuilding. I'll put that on the sideline."
Just as a side note, everyone, I've just come to learn Nicole has also done bodybuilding, so we'll unpack that as we go.
Yeah. So yeah, like we were like, yeah, let's start on a family, and we fell pregnant very quickly. Yeah, by like, I think it was like within a month, like I fell pregnant, and I amazing, like absolute joy, like that first pregnancy. Oh man, like, it's so annoying that it gets ruined. We don't laugh, we cry. So within, I think it was by the 7th week, I started having some bleeding. And I remember I'd seen my doctor that week as well. And I'd said, I had a bit of bleeding. And they're like, don't worry, it's very common to have a bit of bleeding in early pregnancy. If it like worsens or anything, of course, go to like the hospital or come back to the doctors. And then, yeah, within like a week, I noticed my symptoms of pregnancy started like reducing. My sickness was already going down. I didn't have any indigestion anymore. Breasts weren't so tender.
Just remind me again, you don't feel kicks at 2 months, do you? Like it's
No.
yeah,
not till around like the halfway mark. Some people, I think it's around 6 to like 20 weeks, you'll start feeling movement. So yeah, the tiny little thing.
Flutters, they call them.
Yeah. But yeah, I ended up going back to the hospital, and then, yeah, they confirmed that it was called like a blighted ovum. So it was like an egg that was there, but then nothing grew on the inside of that egg. And then my body noticed that, of course, and then like, it's an interesting thing, because for me learning about it, I was like, okay, well, at least my body's done the right thing in that case. Some people have missed miscarriages, and they end up having to go, they wait so much longer because they have all these symptoms that stay the same or get worse, and then they go back to the doctor and realize there's no heartbeat. Horrible. But yeah, for me, it was like my body naturally, ended the pregnancy, and that was rough. First one, there's so much excitement.
There is, and then there's always that. So my sister went through something similar, and yeah, when the second one came along, there was just always that caution, that extra precautions and everything. I'll save her the stress of going into detail. I don't think she'll want me to, but I can appreciate for sure that it's just after that, it's like you
dull.
don't. Yeah, it's dull. Even if you get the news again, you're not as excited because you're like,
you're
already
like,
thinking.
We'll see how this goes. Like, it sucks.
I'm a religious person, and I do believe that with every delay comes blessing. So you sort of hinted on it that, some people get fortunate that it happens early because there could have been something with the baby that couldn't have been addressed later, that might have not been picked up. But let's talk about that moment. You and hubby, what are the emotions?
So it was good that work gave me a little bit of time off. I had just like some compassionate leave. So I only had a week off, which was not enough. Full stop.
That's got to be a conversation in itself.
Yeah.
With work. Yeah,
it wasn't ideal, but I was kind of, I'm always like, I just got to get back. Just got to keep going. Like, and same with Jim. He's like, we need to try and keep up with our routine as much as possible. We both rely on our routines, to kind of keep us moving forward. So yeah, return to work, but we did have a bit of time together. Like we went for walks, we went to the gym together, we had like little coffee dates. Like just tried to have a nice time. At the time, there was some big health things going on with my dad as well.
Yeah.
So that was like a tricky thing, because as soon as I was no longer pregnant, I was like, I need to get pregnant again. Like that needs to happen. But I was also like so up in my head in like this other grief going on with my dad, that having to go and have some nice time with my husband, it kind of wasn't even at the forefront because I was so worried about my dad, but I knew I needed to get pregnant. So I'm like, how am I supposed to do these two things? Like, and even my husband was like, I don't want to focus on family while we're still having a hard time with your dad. But I was like, but I need to get pregnant because I can't feel better unless we're moving forward. It's very difficult. But we ended up just kind of like calling it for a bit. We're like, no, we just need to calm down. We'll revisit this when we feel a little bit happier, a bit healthier, and things are like more settled with my dad.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bind though, because they say that after such an episode, science speaks for itself, but they say after such an episode, you could get lucky falling pregnant again quicker the next time around. I don't know if there's truth to that. Yeah. So maybe it was like, there was subconscious thinking, oh, we should try it again, like while we can, like there's a bit of momentum there, as tough as it was, and maybe it was a way to manage your grief. Again, we can't, negate the fact that there was a loss involved. So it is always interesting that it's the male that's come in and said, I'm just going to look at this from a holistic point of view. No, let's focus on dad first. But see, dad's timeline's never guaranteed. We don't know how long that is. And I'm sure in the back of dad's mind, he's like, no, go on and give me a grandkid. I want a grandkid. Get on with it.
Yeah.
I want to see one.
He was so excited too.
Yeah, like it was like, don't worry about me. So we've got hubby, we've got Pop. Where are you in this? What's going on in your head? Yeah,
so like when Jim and I, like we were like, okay, because I think it was one day I was like, how are we going to do this? Like every period cycle that we lose, it's just nowhere. And he was like, Nikki, like we just need to take time. I was like, this is very true. Like, I'm not going to fight you on this. Like, probably do just need to focus on dad. And yeah, very, very glad we did that. When things kind of like settled down somewhat, within like another 3 months after that, we started trying again, and then I fell pregnant again. And then, went on to have again, very dulled experience of pregnancy because, both Jim and I remember when I did that pregnancy test, and I was like, I did it with Jim and I walked out and I was like, yeah, so it's positive. He's like, okay, we'll see. We're just one day at a time. And I was like, yeah, cool. Back we go to whatever we were doing. Yeah.
Okay, so you were sort of like, you were looking for a bit of normalcy again, because your whole world's been rocked. I mean, and you were fighting like a battle on two fronts. Like you've got your personal one, and then you've got obviously Pop going on. And you said yourself, Pop kind of got better again. Like it was okay.
He didn't get better.
Okay,
but we just like understood more about what was going on. Basically, at the same, I think it was like a month before I had my miscarriage, and then the month after I took my dad to ED, and then he got diagnosed with a brain tumor. And then it was like everything surrounding all the questions, diagnostic, surgery, treatment, everything was all up in the air with figuring all that out. So it was like we just focused on that for some months to just support him and as a family kind of figure out what we were going to do. Yeah, to support him.
No, absolutely. And that is a fair approach in itself. Visually, though, what about the emotional way? Was there a point where it truly hit you and you said, I need to just, like, in light of everything going on and what my partner's telling me, I need to actually sit and take stock of what's going on. Like, I've been rushed back to work. I didn't get the time off I really needed. I'm working at full throttle again. Grief can be isolating in those situations because there's moments where, like, you might be at work and there's no one really around to console with you. What was it like for you trying to move forward and carry that emotional weight?
I definitely, like, people say, like, you honor your grief. I didn't understand that at the time.
Honor your grief?
Honor your grief, yeah. That was something that was, like, raised later in life through, like, counselling, through, like, Red Nose. So they do a lot of
Yeah.
help for families through stillbirth and SIDS.
Yeah.
Also on like research around SIDS. But yeah, so one of the counsellors said it too, like you can honour your grief and you could do that in different ways. And one of them is sometimes just sitting and crying. And often I went to the gym in the morning with Jim still, and same, I would just like be on the treadmill crying because I was like, this is what I'm doing. Like we just go early in the morning, so there's not many people around.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like a bit of like release. But otherwise, I was just really, I don't know, I am one that leans into distraction. So I just kind of keep honing in on whatever I need to think about. It's not really pushing them aside. It's like I know all these feelings are there, but staying somewhat focused on other things to keep moving forward.
You've got an incredible skill, self-proclaimed skill of compartmentalization. So I can appreciate that. I have a lot of envy now when I'm talking to you about this, by the way.
Sorry.
It's all for good. It's all for good. You can see my ADHD brain is just going all over the place here.
But the lines, they cross,
Look, there's a strange silence in these situations as well because, you'll have these, like, when you go through a loss, like a pregnancy loss, right? From a physical point of view, you're the only one going through it. From an emotional point of view, you've got your husband and you've got your family, but the experience itself can still feel isolating. Almost to a point where, you're not even allowed, you almost feel like you can't acknowledge that there was ever an existence of what was in you, just to, to sort of suppress that emotion. So how did you sort of like hit the reboot and say, right, like there is a time where I've got to draw the line and go for Nikki 2.0 and let's see how we go? Like, how do you hit the reboot? Like, I know it's not an overnight thing, but what were the sort of processes in place to go, let's get this back on track?
Definitely, like for us, because our life was quite stable anyway. Things were very normal. And that's why we're like, this is like a beautiful opportunity to start having a family. Yeah. So once things settled down with my dad and it felt like Jim and I could connect more and like just actually hang out with each other and not have to be talking about things that were worrying us. It's like everything was just a little bit more normal. We were like, well, we can do this. Like I don't even think it felt like a switch. It was more just like a waiting for life to just get back to normal. And then it was like, cool, we are where we were. Just the only thing that was like different and sad was like that first loss took the fun like away. Especially like there's fun, of course, before you get pregnant, but as soon as you get pregnant, you just
look. You sound like you have a very healthy marriage. You and him, so I wouldn't think that you were bored at that point. I think what it is it just created an edge for you to go, oh, we can take on more in life, and this sounds exciting.
Yes, definitely.
And it was just taken away in an instant. If anything, it just made you appreciate how much you wanted it again.
Yeah.
Which is why you pursued. And does your husband grieve differently to you?
Definitely. He doesn't cry as much. A little bit.
It's okay.
So I don't know why I'm getting emotional about thinking about him. But
Why didn't you cry, Jim? Why didn't you cry?
Yeah, but no. It's like it's a special thing because he's so strong, and I always find that so admirable. He plows through everything. It's like quite inspirational to kind of see him always chug along. Yeah.
No, he sounds like a great guy. Look, I cry in Disney movies, so he's
same. He doesn't. He's pro.
Especially the recent ones, like what was Encanto? Like I cried at the end of that, for God's sakes.
I haven't watched that one because I've seen so many people write memes about it. I'm like, no.
No. Prepare to cry. It's a brilliant piece of work, and I had my reservations too. But you have every right to be emotional about this. This wasn't like just losing a job or something. Like come on, there's a life involved, and you have every right to be real on the Comeback Blueprint podcast. We're real and raw here. Was there sort of emotions can also get to a point where you can get quite numb in the process? Did that have an effect at any point?
I was definitely. I'm always the type to get like a bit numb in the beginning.
Yeah, okay.
Like numb out, and then it like hits me hard, get really sad, and then slowly kind of do little things to get back in routine. But yeah, definitely like the numb out first. That's usually like at least it feels like a delay, like you just like kind of stuck in no man's land.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it hits. Yeah.
The little things that you're doing, are they things that you acquired as you went along, or just retreating to old habits or things you relied on in the past?
Definitely things I relied on and things that I know like brought me like happiness or made me feel calm. So yeah, whether it was like doing yoga or going for a walk, having a tea, like going to get like a coffee with Jim, seeing one of my sisters, seeing my friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know what kind of tea you have, so you definitely were finding ways to keep yourself happy, and we're doing so
Yes.
successfully. You wrote something fascinating in your application. I was reading through it the other day when I was putting this together, and I think it was, I wrote it down just because I'm not going to pretend I remember everything off by heart. Memory loss is one of my problems. But distraction until life's worth returns. Distraction until life's worth returns. That hit me hard because sometimes healing doesn't look inspirational. I feel a lot of it is done quietly. It's just surviving the next hour.
Yes.
What did that look like to you in terms of a distraction?
After but after any loss, really, after every loss, it was literally like the simplest of tasks was just another 5 minutes to get me through.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
yeah. So it was like,
The regular routines were not actually coming into place and flowing freely.
not even, yeah, it was like, sometimes it was like sitting in bed, like, I don't know, just looking at the birds. You're like, that's a distraction. It's like better than, I don't know, letting my brain think.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Sometimes it was just like, oh, Jim had a really good one and I got super into it too. He was just like playing a video game that was like, it was like pressure washing. That was this video game he was playing, and we would both just sit there and just absolutely numb out to that.
Wow.
And you're like,
pressure washing. That's very
pressure
therapeutic.
washing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's like very ASMR, but like, as you said, this is not inspirational. This is not me moving mountains and being something incredible. This is me just like surviving bits of the day to then get to sleep again, to wake up and hope it's better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's just sort of what sort of kept you going on the days where hope felt very far away and you just couldn't put it together. And you're just like, you know what, I'm going to sit there and watch pressure washing. And you know, as numbing as it is, it got me
It
through
got
till
me through.
the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So no judgments, of course. I think I'm going to just get on TikTok later and see how that goes. There's a lot of therapeutic stuff out there.
Yeah.
Here's one. People, we're going to obviously I want to sort of look at pregnancy after loss, because that's obviously the direction we're moving here. People often assume that another pregnancy fixes grief. That's an assumption that I've heard. I'm in that space. I'm not speaking for everyone, of course, but from what many mothers can describe, pregnancy after loss can actually be terrifying. And as I said at the beginning, you're always worried that a mistake's coming that you don't see. So can you take me through that next chapter and what that was from an emotional perspective?
Yeah. So,
If
my
you're ready.
second, yeah, for sure. My second pregnancy, like with my son, I definitely was like super do everything right by what everyone says, like cut coffee completely, like make sure I take the perfect vitamins every day, like eat the perfect foods, get the sleep, don't stress, but also I'm really stressed because I don't want this to be a loss again.
Plus, you're still doing a
Don't
job.
tell anyone because it will get jinxed.
Yeah, the jinx. Yeah, the good old jinx. Yeah.
I don't know. It was, and I literally, I don't think we told anyone until we were like 20 weeks pregnant with the second pregnancy, because we told some family members at like 9 weeks because we'd surpassed the point of my first pregnancy.
The harmony
that
test and all
miscarriage.
that, right? Is that what it is?
No.
One-
I think it was just at 9 weeks. It was
9 weeks.
just
Sorry,
a
9
scan,
weeks.
like
Yeah.
just a scan to confirm growth is normal and everything. But yeah, but even at 20 weeks, honestly, that was like a bit of relief for me, because anything before that, I felt like anything could happen. There was even a friend I had at work who had a miscarriage at 16 weeks, and I was like, no one's safe. I was like, no one's safe. And these are normal, healthy people as well. Like, again, I've got no other pre-existing conditions, got nothing like that's hard to manage. It's like a very healthy, but for some reason we had a miscarriage. Even Jim, like very perfect, healthy person. You're like, yes. So it felt very confusing too. Like even that, just trying to do everything by the book, but still feeling like anything could happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I don't want to downplay it in terms of an example, but yeah, I am a male trying to give a comparative example. But I guess it's like when you start a job, right? And then you're in like 3 months and you have a great time. You think everything's good. Again, this is not a comparative example. I'm just trying to meet you halfway here. But it's like you're in a job and you're doing well, everything's fine. And then 3 months in, they call in the office and say, we've got to let you go. Just like, you're not passing probation, not working, right? And then the fund's gone, and then you struggle for like 6 months to get another job. But at this time, you're counting week by week. Did I get to the 3 months? Did I get to the 4 months? Have I passed probation? It's now just, will I make it? Again, this is a very different comparison, but I kind of get the idea that it's like the fun the first time was just like an innocent naivety. Just look at me, I'm pregnant, I'm having a great time. Absolutely, you have every right to. Second time is like, okay, I've already seen the worst of it. So brace yourself. I can't imagine that was psychologically healthy for you. And even when you got there and you passed that point, it wasn't a relief. I'm sure it was just a continuum. It was just like, okay, now what next? Because I still got to get to the actual delivery date.
Yeah. It was still like slowly kind of like ticking off. But then what was good at like that 6 month point, Jim and I we were able to buy our home. And then we moved house. And then, I was still supporting Dad through all of his treatments. So it was quite like busy after that point. So again, it was like lots of things that were keeping me very preoccupied until it was actually time to give birth. Like, and I kept working as well. Like I kept working all the way up until I think I was like 36 or 37 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just a couple of weeks shy, really. That's wow.
Yeah.
At what point did you actually deliver? Was it the full term or?
Yeah, it was like 39 and 1, I think.
Yeah.
I'm memory with birth.
Yeah, I think at that point it is full. So yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, take me
and
through.
And there was relief there, 100% relief.
Yeah, I was going to say, take me through the emotions. Relief,
done.
That's it, you've done it.
Yes, for sure.
You've done it, yeah. How was Dad to hear that news?
Yeah, like, same, like Jim was stoked, I was stoked. Like we both didn't have to like be like, oh, what's going to happen? You're like, he's here.
He's here. All right.
It's amazing.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
But we still like, you still get scared about things like SIDS. So we're both still very like careful.
Yeah.
And we were first time parents as well. So we had like no idea like how to do things well. But yeah, we pitched it up so good, honestly. We're great. We're great parents.
Yeah, that's great.
I could definitely say that.
Absolutely. I will attest to that because I just think that it's being a mum or a parent itself is the toughest, most rewarding job. And so if you're doing it, then you're already at 10 points, 10 marks, 10 out of 10, sorry, 10 points, 100 points.
10 points.
But there's no manual. I mean, I remember when I was growing up, my mum used to read this book called What to Expect When You're Expecting. I think that's when my brother she was carrying my brother, and then I think it was like Raising Boys. Like everyone just was reading a book at that time, and you'd know these books, and then there was Raising Girls on my sister, God help her. Anyway, but like there's all these manuals, right? But they get outdated quickly because it's not reflective of the time you're in. I mean, you busy mom, like, before you even gave birth, you were working, you were stressing, you were trying to meet deadlines. Again, I haven't even asked what your profession is, just to be clear, but at that point that takes its toll. there was a time where the mum could have afforded the option to stay at home and just focus on the pregnancy. So there is no manual. So you got there though. So
Yes.
kudos to you. Yeah, absolutely. Has it changed your perspective as a mother? Has it changed your perspective, and particularly on your experience, has it changed your perspective on strength?
Yes. I knew so many mums before I became a mum. Even bodybuilding wise, there was so many mums I met through that, and I was always very inspired by them, because I was like, the fact that you can have kids and be like so physically strong and disciplined, like, you're amazing. But I never thought about the weight of the juggle of that. Let alone, like, again, the physical strength of like carrying around a child and waking up so many times a night to then still go to the gym or work. Where? How? Like, when I then became a mum, I was like, what the hell? Like, what? How does anyone get like anything done? How does anyone, like, I was struggling to like just make a meal and eat, like, thank goodness for Jim. Even my sister, she came around with like heaps of meals for me. I was like, oh, thank you, because I haven't even thought about how to eat. Like,
Yeah. And I was going to say, I know Dad was unwell, but Mum's in the picture still, right? Like, did she come to
Mum's
the
around.
rescue? We're like, don't worry, I got this now, it's all good.
Yeah, she helped a few times. But like, yeah, mum at the time, she was working and, like still had her own stuff to do. And like Jim and I, we are both quite independent. We like doing things and figuring it out ourselves. So like, yeah, asking for help from mum every now and then. But yeah, mostly it was just trying to juggle. Because like, you don't always have people. You have each other, but you don't always have the village. So for Jim and I, it was very much like, how do we figure this out for ourselves? And then as well, at 6 months, when Lizzie was 6 months old, Jim went to like away for work, and he was away for like 6 months. So again, it was me being like preemptively of that. I don't want to be relying on too many people. I need to be able to figure out how I'm going to do this myself. Yeah. Mind you, when he was born, I definitely did kind of lean into even just like I'd stay over at my mum and stepdad's house like once a week. I'd still look after Wesley all night, but it was more just like good company and it's like nice. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's just a presence of having them around that gives you a chance to go, I can still do my duties, but if I just need to take a moment to breathe and sit back and fall back, I've got that luxury, we'll say, in this case. Yeah, absolutely. Have you found, I've had a few of these, not specifically your story, but I've had a few similar stories on my podcasts. A consistent sort of realization that comes up is that a loss can challenge or change an identity. So did you ever feel like, you became a completely different person or molded into a new person through all this as a result of that loss? If we just going back one step?
From my first miscarriage, I don't feel like it changed me a lot. It probably just made me definitely more anxious when it comes to actual pregnancy. Definitely. Like that always stayed with me. My son, Owen, that changed me. He was my stillborn through termination for medical reasons. He had a 1 in 7 billion genetic mutation called Apert syndrome. And it wasn't just some people. You can have some components of Apert syndrome. He had like the worst of it. But having to have the diagnostics, and again, I still had that anxiousness in pregnancy. So for the first 20 weeks, I was worried about him dying. And then when it got to 20 weeks and we started with the other scans, and that's when they noticed that there was some physical anomalies with him. And then having to do repeated scans when I thought I was at the safe point.
Yeah.
Was crushing. And then to be so hopeful for like the 23 weeks of his life, to then also have to make the decision to stop it. I was I am changed. Guilt will always be there. But Jim always reminds me what we did was selfless. Because if we let the pregnancy go, he would have died regardless. Even the midwife said after I delivered him, they're like, you did the very best you could for him. And at the time, it was like, that was very comforting when they said that, because you just keep questioning, because you don't know anything until your child actually comes out exactly what's going on with them. And because all you had was just scans. But yeah, like the safety of pregnancy was shattered, but so was I in having to make because it was me, I had to sign the paperwork. Jim couldn't make that decision because it's my body. It's me. I have to sit with these doctors, and the doctors were also very nice. They were like, this is all the information we have. This is all the information we have about what's going on with him, and we agree to help you with your termination of pregnancy, but I still have to be the one to sign.
Yeah.
Terrible. And again, like 1 in 7 billion, like what? And
how do they come up with that number? Yeah.
Yeah, they basically, again, like it's already a very rare disease. Like even on like Rare Diseases Australia, there's nothing about it. It's not great. But yeah, they did a bunch of tests after he was born to like figure out exactly what happened. But yeah, it was just a random new mutation that literally happened at like inception, or like conception. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Jim was fair in what he said. He was always going to tell you what needed to be said in order for you to progress. I can't imagine being in that situation, but to say that you did the right thing, because who knows what it would have been like when the baby came out, when Owen came out. 1 in 7 billion. And you had to sign the papers. Was Jim allowed to be in the room with you? Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He was there for everything.
It was a physical act, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a little funeral?
Yeah, we did. Just Jim and I, it's such an interesting time, right? Because like Wesley was about 2 years old at this time.
Yeah.
He knew I was pregnant, and
excited as you
then
would
you
be,
have to also explain that. Like that's really difficult to have to explain in words and ways that will, your child will understand. Oh, rough.
My condolences. I'm going to share a little story. My sister was pregnant with her second. At that point, I think her first, my nephew, was maybe 3 years old. Maybe 3 years old. Similar situation. It wasn't a 1 in 7 billion, but it got to a point where she was told, if you have this baby, it's going to die on arrival. You've got to make that decision, and she had to sign it. I don't know what the mutation was, but I do believe it was something rare as well. I wouldn't say it's 1 in 7 billion. That's so rare. But I just remember after that, they had a little funeral, when it was delivered. And then there was just this 12 months of absolutely being cautious of the next pregnancy. She got pregnant and almost went into seclusion.
Yeah.
That's why I feel this story resonates, not directly with me, but obviously I've got my sister who had something similar. That was, just about a year ago she had her second, but that took a long time. That took a very long time. So there was always hope. So I don't know if that helps it anywhere, but I can just let you know that I sort of get where you're coming from with that. That's, yeah.
And I get it with her too. Like just
Do you want to, anyone? Just like,
after that, you're like, cool, I'm just going to go into hiding until this is all done and eventuated.
When he was born, finally the second was born, she didn't want anyone to see him, I think, for 3 months.
Yeah.
Like it was just, don't jinx it. I don't want it. Just don't jinx it. Far out is all I can say. And, thank God for family.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Obviously, the question answers itself in how you reflect on it now. But what has it taught you in terms of a definition of a full life? Having a full life, as a mum, as a wife, as a daughter, you've got so many wonderful titles.
Yeah. I feel like there's an asterisk on it.
I love that.
You can have a full life, but like you do have to, you got to put yourself out there. And every time you do that, it comes with the risks that you didn't even think existed.
Yeah.
So like
Speaking, oh no, please go on.
Jim and I talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
Actually, he said something really cute the other day. I'll probably cry again.
I'll say it.
But
We like soft guys on this program. I don't have any guy guests. If Jeff wants to come on later, he's more than welcome to.
No, he doesn't like talking very deeply about things.
Let's speak on his behalf.
He's more of a private person, but that's okay. But we were watching the kids play, and like our daughter, she was like running around, and Wes was chasing her. And they were
Can we just get the ages again? Sorry, just so I can paint a picture.
Yeah, so Wesley's 5 and Winnie's 1.
Oh, wow, that's quite a heart. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So they were like running around, and I was like, isn't it like so nice? Like I said to Jim, he's like, yeah, it is. They're crazy. And I was like, but wouldn't it have been so much nicer if our 3 boys were here too, doing laps, super loud. I love chaos. And Jim said, he's like, yeah, that it would be really cool. But it would only be really cool if we also still had Winnie. No, because we always said like if Owen was Owen and we got to keep him, then we would have 2 boys. We wouldn't have anyone else. And if we lost Owen, we got pregnant again, we had the twins. If the twins stayed, we would have had 3 boys.
Yeah.
And then because the twins died, we tried again. And then we had Winnie. So I don't know, it was just really sweet. And Jim said that.
I
was
understand
like,
it.
It's so cute that he was like, I'm sad for our loss, but I love my daughter. And I love Wesley. And I was just like, oh, Jim, that's the best. It's so sweet.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's so adult and reflective, and it takes everything into perspective that, yes, of course, you could have had what you had, but look what you have now. There is a sacrifice to
And that's that whole thing, like you said, like, what's a full life? It's like mine has an asterisk for sure. But yeah, it's like.
But you have a full life nonetheless. It's just with the asterisk. Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I think the same goes to my sister, because I know she reflects on what she lost, but it's like if I look at her little nephew, her son, my nephew, he's cuter than the whole family, to be honest. We call him a little bread roll. He's just so cute. We're Arabics in background, so we use the Lebanese version of bread roll, but he's just a little bread roll, and I'm like, and where would we be without him? Like, you know, so you just don't know. Like, there is a silver lining to everything. So it's embracing that moment. You share a lot of, look, maybe you can correct me on this, but sort of, you know, have you found the meaning in sharing your story publicly? You're very open on the gram, of course, and talking to me. Obviously, you don't hold much back. There is value in sharing what you share. What kind of value do you find in it?
No, you were talking about like grief is love. We say like grief is love with nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So talking about my children, talking about my life as part of my life, it continues to include them and show the different ways that I love them. And like, that's important to me. Also, it's definitely important to, I don't know, it's not really like people can get through this, like, because I totally get it when people say, like, stay stuck, stay chronically depressed following the loss of a child. But if you put it out there of like, this is where I'm at, often people will also put their hand out for support if you need it. So it's like, it's me openly saying, this is where I'm at right now. It might be me in like a good point, but kind of just talking about things. Or maybe I'm like really sad about something. Like, it's Mother's Day this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't do Mother's Day. I don't do Mother's Day.
You don't do Mother's Day. Oh, no. You're saving your husband a fortune.
Yeah. No. I like saving money, so that's fine. But yeah, even Jim's like, maybe can Wesley get you something small? And I'm like, you can get me something small, but like, I really don't want a big deal about it. Because to me, like, Mother's Day feels like a day of mourning. So it's like, it definitely doesn't have its sparkle as it does for so many.
It also has an asterisk, as you said.
Yeah.
So, It's just perspective, my friend. And I guess at the end of the day, that perspective, it comes from just those chapters that you didn't expect to be written.
Yeah.
And so there you are. Now, I'm going to just do a little bit of a segue. I'm not really good at transitions because I
That's
tend to
okay.
get really emotional with people. And I'm like, how do I get on to the next thing? But I do want to get as much out of you as I can with the time given. Um, you were introduced to me by Miriam Waldy. I hope I pronounced her last name properly.
Yeah, that's right.
The owner of Misfit Bikini Model. Incredible guest. And she's also lined me up with another guest who I previously interviewed, Courtney Truan. What's her relationship with you? Because I want to sort of flesh that out, if that's okay. Let's go on the lighter note.
Yeah, sure. So I met Miriam, I think it was at I wasn't sure if it was one of my first shows. Like I seen her backstage or something. Like she was competing too or thinking about it. But I met her first and then I started training, like I was a personal trainer. And then I started training her. She
You
came to
trained
see
her?
me.
Okay,
Yeah, I was training her.
Yeah.
But she was training for a bodybuilding competition or maybe even she'd already done I can't even remember. Everything
Sure.
blurs together. But yes, we met somewhere through bodybuilding and then I was training her. And then we also did we were in the Misfit Bikini Model competition. At the time it was like run by someone else.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. Like having Miriam backstage.
She's a lot of energy. She
yeah.
has a lot of energy.
Yeah. And I think she went on to then like win, there was the girlfriend. It was like Miss Girlfriend. Like it's like everyone loved her and everyone felt like really amazing around her. So she won and yeah, that was spectacular. And then, yeah, shortly after she kind of just ran with Misfit Bikini and soon enough she was running it and absolutely clapping for her, so supportive of everything she did. I did my best to kind of like help her with bits and bobs, whatever she needed with the show at the time. I was also like still kind of doing lots in bodybuilding.
You're a winner yourself. Was it Miss Evening Gown or something? I'm pretty sure I've read something that you yourself have competed. Yeah.
So I think in the early Misfit Bikini, I think I won one of the heats.
Yeah.
And then
You've done well.
Yeah, it's sort of just fun. At the time, it was like me just kind of exercising and doing, I don't know, seeing what I could do. Now I'm just like, wow, it's really hot back then.
But that's consistent with a lot of competitors. It's not just with the ones around people who enter, like for example, the recent one on the Gold Coast, the bodybuilder one on the Gold Coast, right? They all say, oh, I started saying I just wanted to see what I could do. Before you know it, they're like 6 years in.
Yeah.
So how was that for you? Because that was before kids and all, right? Like that was a different sort of chapter. Like was that sort of an ambition itself that you wanted to compete at that level, or like were you always into fitness? I know that you've done PT and all, but like I'm sort of like I want to take you back to a few years if you don't mind. Like where was your mindset in terms of career progression and what you were looking to do?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't like career progression.
Yeah.
It was more of, initially it was actually just to prove something to myself. And that was like to prove to myself that I was beautiful because I didn't think I was beautiful.
Who's they?
I know.
Who's they?
I know. I needed to do it. I thought.
Okay, fair enough.
I was not, so I after like a bout of me being very not happy with myself, I decided to do bodybuilding after chatting to Jim about it. And he was very supportive of it. He's like, yeah, sure, you can go and do it. And yeah, I did my first show and I loved it.
Yeah.
And then second show, I did that like later that year. And then I won like a first in a novice and a second in an open.
Yeah,
month after that, I did another show and I won my pro card. Month after that, I went to the States, competed over there.
Wow. Where in the States?
In Vegas.
Oh, okay. Big top. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then after that, I came back and I was like, I think I want to try personal training. I really love this. And and I really love
great.
helping people. So I did personal training for like a year. But we had like lots of other things going on. Like Jim lost his job at the same time that I quit my insurance job to PT. And then
Talk
it was
about timing.
really, oh my God, literally same day. Like it was my last day at insurance, and then Jim got me redundant. And I was like,
Wow.
oh my God.
Hey, thank God it's not 2026.
Yeah.
That's a different, that's a different kettle of fish. But no, it's crazy nonetheless.
But no, so I did PTing for a year. And then I ended up like, I still competed, I think, once in that period, but it was so much. Like, honestly, I was like, oh, this is too much going on. Split shifts. It was a lot of work. I was working like 6 to 7 days a week. And I missed Jim, honestly, and he missed me. We didn't get to see each other very much.
Yeah, okay.
My insurance job, they asked if I could come back just to help them out because they were really behind. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Like, I've got a bit of time during the day in between my morning clients and my night clients, so I can work then. And I got back there and I was like, actually, this is really nice. I was like, I really love people, but I really like this. I get to come to work and go home and see my husband.
Structure. Yeah.
So I just transitioned back. I did keep helping people with their posing. So getting on stage, you've got to walk a certain way, hold your body a certain way to like look your very best. So I kept teaching people posing, either from like a gym or part of groups. I did it through Misfit Bikini. I kept doing that for ages because that's fun. That's so fun. You can make someone look like, I don't know, just their waist, the shoulders, the legs, the glutes. Like
It's just getting those positions right. Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's different. Like everyone's anatomy, like the way their bones, muscles. Like you can get the most out of them.
Yeah. What do you enjoy about it? What did you enjoy about it most?
I liked, for me, bodybuilding. I really loved the exercise. I really liked seeing what I could do to change my shape, seeing how I could build or tighten. I really enjoyed that. It was tough. I really liked the posing. I liked the presentation part of it, holding myself a certain way, smiling a certain way.
I find it fascinating. I've spoken to quite a few people in this space now. Actually, I just spoke to someone before. She's based in Florida earlier today. But, I was like, she was telling me about like she does two different types of posing that she teaches. One is bikini and then there's wellness. And it's honestly it's like the same weight, the same everything. It just comes down to one or two tweaks in your stature from like how you use your upper body to how you use your lower body. Like it's all technical. And you blink, and someone like me, blink and you miss. It just looks like posing to me. And I say that with absolute respect, but it's like, that's what I see. So there's a lot going up in the mind to get that right. And obviously it's telling to someone like you who, like you said, has got a compartmentalization skill and can focus when they need to. How do you segue out of it and go, okay, it's not for me anymore? Like, how do you sort of transition out of it?
Yeah, I definitely didn't like transition out because there's still so much that I loved about it. Yeah. So yeah, I kept teaching posing either parts of groups through INBA and then also through Misfit Bikini. And then I just did it solely through INBA. And then I would also then just do like one-on-one sessions myself with people. So either I would book like a certain area or I started doing them from home. But yeah, honestly, like I literally stopped like your sister. I just went absolutely quiet. Like I'm not doing anything after I was like, no, I don't have the energy for this anymore.
Yeah.
And I definitely still do that now. Like I'm less likely to like go to new places to meet new people because I don't want to have to like every time I do it for my kids, man. I take Wesley to parties. I talk to parents.
That's just getting old. I don't want to meet anyone new except on a podcast.
It sucks because I like people, but I just hate when it's the norm. And I hope everyone that listens to this will hear this and go, you know what? I'm gonna listen to Nikki, and I'm not gonna say this again. Don't ask people about their family plans. Don't ask them because you don't know people.
So true.
You don't know.
Don't ask about your family plans.
Don't ask about family plans. Ask what's new, what's on the horizon. What have you got going on?
I'm glad you said it, Nicole, because one of my questions to wrap up was, what is on the horizon with what's left of 2026?
Beautiful.
Take me through it.
I
Take me
love
through
it.
it.
What's on the horizon? I'm almost finished my nursing.
Yes.
I'm going to be a nurse.
Great. We need more nurses, trust me.
And
So,
I'm going to be such a good nurse. Just
yes.
like the giving component of PT, I absolutely loved. I loved helping people to be their very best. Yeah, so keen to get that done.
Is there any particular specialist?
I'm
like-
also a nerd when it comes to the body. Like
Yeah.
that was a big thing with bodybuilding. I really love like learning the anatomy and the physiology of it. Like how do you move your body to get the most out of it? So a bit of a nerd there. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know which area I'll go to. I'll literally be like, I'm a new nurse. Take me. Whatever you want, I will do it. But
Pay
we'll
it forward.
see.
Just help out where you can. Absolutely. Okay, so you're on the verge of being a nurse. It's fantastic. That's absolutely wonderful. Like I did not even. Yeah, no, great. Well done. I pray you become a great nurse that serves her people, her community very well. It's such a rewarding and taxing job.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm made for taxing. Have you seen me? I can do the hard stuff.
You're made for it, my friend.
I am.
You
Yes.
are. Okay. Tell me, what does comeback mean to you? Because it seems like you've got it down pat.
I think it means accepting change and moving forward maybe in different ways. Maybe different ways than you expected, but it's maybe even just like bringing what you had with you as well. Like don't just be like, oh, just scratch that, gone. It's like moving forward in a different way with everything you know, everything that's happened. Yeah. That's
With
a comeback.
everything, that's beautiful and well fleshed out, actually. I just got another question that came to mind. With everything life's thrown at you, what are you still hopeful for?
I don't know. Have I racked up my hard? Like, I don't know. Jim and I all the time we're like, when's something bad going to happen?
Have I racked up my hard? That's a
Yeah.
new one. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I always try and remain with optimism.
Yeah.
I do, even though a lot of me is like, we're gonna be very cautious here, Nikki. But I'm like, no, surely, and then the other part's like, no, here's the
Right.
file of everything that we're and you're like, oh, okay. But we can hope, right? That's what
But it's living, Nicole. It's living, it's learning. Nikki, should I say? It's living, it's learning. And I always say there's always two outcomes. You know, you can win or you can learn. That's just to everything we do. And I think the worst thing you can do is just, sit and not move and be quiet and be a duck and be still.
and not letting it as you said, like things change you, but I don't want it to like dull me. I still want to be, I don't want to be, oh, that's Nikki. She's a bit effed up. I want people to be like, that's Nikki. She's been through some stuff, but she's still so nice.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, something my mum said to me maybe like 15 years ago, and I still remember it. There you go. That's how strong they are, their opinions, mums. But I had my heart attack 15 years ago. And, I was feeling sorry for myself, as you do. And, she was reminding me of all the things I accomplished before the heart attack, traveled to America, lived there for a while, a bit of traveling. I got a degree, only 25, so like I've done a lot. And she just goes, just remember, you are not your heart attack. Do you know? Like, you are not your heart attack. You can be a heart attack survivor, but you're not a victim of it. Like, you're not your heart attack. Now, that's not easy to subscribe to, but I know exactly where she's coming from, and I've tried every day to be like, well, how can I put what I went through to better use? I can see you're doing the same. So thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to go on here on record and say this is the most raw conversation I've ever had with you. And the least scripted. So what does that say?
Nice. It's been very fluid. If you've got ADHD and I've got PTSD, things are going well. Yeah.
So yeah, look, you're going to enjoy a lovely weekend where you don't have to celebrate or do anything or spend any money. So it's going to be fantastic.
I know, right?
But he should.
Every day I celebrate my babies and me. It's
That's
fine.
exactly right. Yeah. Look, hubby's still got to get you something regardless. Okay, what's going on? Like a gift's a gift.
Yeah.
Is there any parting message you think people can take away from your own experience that you feel, if there's one thing they could take away, one message, what would you leave them with?
Yeah, probably on that thing of like, we don't have to be defined by the bad things that happen. Yeah.
They shape us. That's all. They don't define us.
Yeah.
There is an absolute difference. For those listening, if this episode connected with you, please share it with someone who needs it. I know I'm going to be enjoying the editing of this one because this was just absolutely beautiful and natural. So it'll probably be the quickest edit ever. If Nicole's story reminded you that grief and hope can exist at the same time, I know it did for me. And I think I subscribe to what I said at the top of this conversation. Grief is love. And if you didn't have grief, you wouldn't understand what love truly is. And it goes both ways. So please, thank you, Nicole. Thank you for your courage, for coming on. I wasn't aware on how honest you would be. And I'm so glad that you've trusted me with the story. And I hope to see you flourish in the future as you are now.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Same to you.
You've been listening to the Comeback Blueprint podcast with Michael Sawan. Real stories, real struggles, real comebacks. Follow these comeback stories on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and anywhere else you can find us on social media. And don't miss what's coming next.